Welcome. Hello. And hello to my fellow introverts. There are a lot of things that I can say about being an introvert, but let's talk about the things that we just don't do. Me and small talk never got along. I cannot remember one time where small talk was successful for me. If you ever been at work and you just wanted time to yourself, so you take your break and you're thinking you're gonna eat alone, and then boom, 5 minutes later, Chatty Cathy comes in, invites herself to sit right in front of you, and chats away. And then she proceeds to tell you about her weekend, what she did. And now you just feel trapped because A, I guess it would be rude if you just got up and sat somewhere else. And B, you're really not even interested. You're very confused why she sat across from you. Sometimes lunch hour, and I only get 30 minutes, but in general, lunch hours, like not everybody wants to talk during their lunch hour. So now you're just sitting there listening to Chatty Cathy go on and on and on, slightly ruining your lunch, but you can't be rude. So now you have to just make up stuff to go along with. Oh, and how did you like Georgia this weekend? Cool. Side note, some people should just read the room. Read the room, Kathy. I didn't ask for you to sit across from me. I talked to you at work. Can I have 30 minutes to myself? It's kind of like when you're like at the store just minding your business. I go to the store alone a lot, so I just like pop in my earphones and get what I have to get. And then you grab the cereal, and for some reason somebody's just like, those are some great Cheerios. And I'm like, they're the only Cheerios. And then he proceeds to tell me a story about how Cheerios got started. Now I have to engage in this conversation. I guess it's good practice to engage in small talk, but I don't want to. Just because we don't like small talk does not mean that we are not social. I can go on and on about something that I'm very interested in, to my close friends, to my family, some family. But personally, I can't just have a full-blown conversation with somebody that I don't know. You're probably like, I wonder what her dating life is like. If you call me, and I think any introvert can agree, we do not answer the phone. Personally, I will watch it ring. And you call me again, I'll watch it ring again. And then I'll hit you with a text, hey, what's up? This is mainly for unexpected calls. Calls and FaceTimes, no. I was slightly seeing someone who only liked to call. He explained to me that he didn't want his text messages to be misunderstood. That's completely fine. I actually do understand that. But you don't just call me at 2 p.m. thinking I'm going to answer, because I'm not. And honestly, I don't mind a phone call once in a while. I like hearing people's voices. But you just don't randomly call somebody. I don't know you like that. I mean, like, maybe like a heads up would be great. Just saying. If you want to date an introvert, just give them a heads up before you call. That's a little tip. With this guy specifically, it was just to a point where I ran out of buffer words. And all you heard was, oh. And he liked to talk a lot too. So I was more like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like those too. We stopped seeing each other for different reasons. We just don't know what to talk about. And texting gives us a little room to figure out what we want to say. I can't think of stuff on the spot sometimes, and I just get flustered, and then you just hear like a silence. And then I feel bad because I feel like now on the other side, he's like trying to figure out things to say, and I still don't know what to say. I kind of feel like as introverts, we like to express ourselves in writing instead of talking. It's just more of a comfort thing. I can't tell you the amount of times that I took a speech class and I was mortified after. Like when I write a paper, I'm great. As soon as the professor says, now let's present, I want to die. Like I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't want to go first. I don't want to go last. I don't want to go in the middle. I just don't want to do it. Quick story. When I was in high school, we had to do like a group presentation, but it was like we had to act it out. So stupid. Anyway, I don't know what my teacher was really thinking when she put people in groups. She grouped me in with like two guys who barely even say 2 words in class. I think she was trying to set me up, but that's a completely different story. And the day of our group project, I skipped a class because one, we hadn't even talked about it, and it was like a 2-week, we got like 2 weeks to finish it. We hadn't even spoke. I just knew we were gonna fail. So I was like, let me exit out of here. I somehow tricked another teacher into thinking that I got transferred to her class. I ran. I was a track star. So my group pulled me to the side and was like, yeah, she said that we can do it the next day. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go through this again. I can't trick another teacher into thinking that I'm in their class. Luckily, that other teacher, she didn't even check. I don't even think she cared. She was just like, whatever. So it's the next day, and I didn't say anything. I guess you were supposed to remind her that we still have to do our project. I didn't say a word. I didn't care to say a word. If she said something, maybe we could do it, but she never said anything. She actually gave us like a good grade on it because we never had time to actually finish the project. That's when I knew I am terrified of public speaking. Yes, you can break that habit. I took a few public speaking courses in college. I'm still mortified. So I just think it's in me. It's nothing's changing. Jordan, do you know the answer? How about you explain it? How about you read it? How about you don't call on me? For some reason, I have certain classes where I'm great at. I talk and I engage, and there's other classes where I feel like, no, I don't, I'd rather not show my face and I'd rather not speak. So when my professor called on me to read the passage, my heart is pounding, I'm sweating, I'm quivering. It's terrible. I don't know. Like I said, I tried to break this, fear of public speaking, and it's not working for me. Last thing about small talk that I want to mention, I think that we are better in small settings. I've been to 2 separate cookouts. One, a very small setting, 5 or 6 people. It wasn't really a cookout, it was more like an intimate little party. Okay, 6 or 7 people. And I was great. I was talking, I was social, I was beating people in Uno. It's just when you're comfortable around certain people, and that was a smaller setting of people that I really didn't know. It was like my friend asked me to come to a cookout with her, and I was like, yeah, sure. I was like kind of nervous, and she even was like, I know how you are in social settings, but I think you're gonna be great. I went and I was great. Now, I went to a bigger cookout. I wasn't the same person at the smaller event. She was talking to people, and she was having a great time, and she was making jokes and people were laughing. At this bigger event, there's no words to explain it. I think we all know how we are. Like, I really didn't talk to a lot of people. I might have talked to only the person I came with, and maybe like one other person. And it was to the point where I was just like getting uncomfortable. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to dip because this is not for me. Food was great. Music was great. But I just couldn't. 4 or 5 shots in, you think I'm an extrovert. But at this specific cookout, I just had to leave. That's how uncomfortable I felt. I was just like, no. Maybe at the next one. So to recap, introverts do not like small talk. Not saying all introverts, but most. And not saying most, but me. We can, and we're very capable, but we rather not, and we don't. You know, I think I'm an extrovert like 10% of the time. Very rare. After a few drinks for sure. And I don't know how to end this video. Still trying to think of ways. But if I missed anything about small talk, let me know right in the comments. Tell me your experience about small talk in social settings. Bye. Welcome.